Listen friends, there comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes something uncomfortable. No one is coming to save him. Not from his emotions, not from his struggles, not from the chaos inside his own mind. And in that moment, he has two choices. He can remain weak, reactive, easily shaken by every word, every rejection, every setback, or he can become something else entirely. He can become unshakable. Mental strength is not something you're born with. It is built, slowly, painfully, deliberately. It is forged in silence, in discipline, in the quiet decisions no one sees. While others complain, you endure. While others react, you observe. While others break, you remain standing. This is the essence of Stoicism. A philosophy practiced by warriors, emperors, and thinkers who understood that the real battle is not out there, it is within. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, these are either your greatest weakness or your ultimate weapon. In a world designed to distract you, provoke you, and drain your energy, being mentally strong is no longer optional. It is survival. Every day, you are tested. By people. By circumstances. By your own mind. And if you are not prepared, life will humble you, again and again. But if you understand these principles, if you master them, you become dangerous in the best possible way. Not loud. Not aggressive. But calm, controlled, and impossible to break. In this video, you're going to discover 10 powerful Stoic lessons that will reshape the way you think, the way you react, and the way you move through life. These are not surface-level ideas. These are deep, practical truths that, if applied, will transform you into someone who cannot be easily disturbed, manipulated, or defeated. And before we go deeper, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Because what you're about to learn is just the beginning of a mindset that will set you apart from the crowd. Now, let's begin. Now understand this clearly, mental strength is not about pretending you feel nothing. It is not about suppressing emotions or becoming cold and disconnected. That is weakness disguised as control. True strength is the ability to feel everything, and still remain in command of yourself. Because life will test you. There will be moments when people misunderstand you. Moments when your efforts go unnoticed. Moments when things don't go your way, no matter how hard you try. And in those moments, your natural instinct will be to react, to get angry, to seek validation, to lose control. But Stoicism teaches something different. It teaches that your power lies in your response. You cannot control what people say. You cannot control what happens around you. But you can control how you interpret it, how you react to it, and how you move forward from it. And that is where most people fail. They give away their power too easily. They let other people's opinions define them. They let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. A mentally strong person does not do that. A mentally strong person pauses, observes, thinks, and then acts with intention. This is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires awareness. It requires you to step back from your impulses and ask yourself a simple but powerful question. Is this within my control? If it is, you act. If it is not, you let it go. And that alone will eliminate a large percentage of the stress, frustration, and emotional chaos in your life. But here's the truth most people don't want to accept: becoming unshakable means becoming different. It means you will not react the way others expect you to. It means you will stay calm when others panic. You will remain silent when others argue. You will walk away when others try to provoke you. And because of that, some people will misunderstand you. They may think you don't care. They may think you are distant. They may even try harder to get a reaction out of you. But that is the price of control. And it is a price worth paying. Because when you master yourself, no one else can control you. You become steady in a world that is unstable. You become focused in a world full of distractions. You become disciplined in a world driven by impulse. And over time, this changes everything. The way you think becomes sharper. The way you handle pressure becomes stronger. The way you carry yourself becomes different. People may not understand it, but they will feel it. There is a certain presence that comes with self-control. A quiet confidence. A calm intensity. A sense that no matter what happens, you will not break. That is what you are building here. Not just motivation, but a mindset. Not just temporary discipline, but lasting control. Because motivation fades. Emotions fluctuate. But principles, when practiced daily, become part of who you are. And that is why these lessons matter. They are not just ideas to listen to and forget. They are tools. Tools that you can apply every single day. In your relationships. In your work. In your struggles. In your victories. If you truly understand them, you will start to see life differently. Situations that once bothered you will no longer have power over you. People who once affected your mood will lose their influence. Challenges that once felt overwhelming will become opportunities to strengthen your mind. And that is when the shift happens. You stop reacting to life, and you start mastering it. So as you listen to these lessons, don't just hear them. Think about them. Reflect on them. And more importantly, apply them. Because knowledge without action is useless. But knowledge applied, consistently, becomes transformation. Now let's go deeper. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. This is the foundation of everything. Most people waste their entire lives worrying about things they have no control over. What others think. What might happen tomorrow. What already happened yesterday. They carry unnecessary burdens, draining their energy on things that will never change. But a Stoic understands a simple truth: not everything deserves your attention. Your time, your energy, your focus, these are limited resources. And if you spend them carelessly, you will always feel exhausted, frustrated, and overwhelmed. So you must become selective. You must learn to separate what is within your control from what is not. Your thoughts, within your control. Your actions, within your control. Your effort, within your control. Other people's opinions, not within your control. External outcomes, not fully within your control. The past, completely out of your control. And once you truly accept this, something powerful happens. You stop chasing control where it doesn't exist, and you start mastering the areas where it does. This doesn't mean you become passive. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you focus your energy where it actually makes a difference. Instead of worrying about being liked, you focus on being valuable. Instead of fearing failure, you focus on improving your effort. Instead of stressing over results, you commit to the process. And slowly, your mind becomes lighter. Because you are no longer fighting battles you cannot win. You are no longer reacting to everything around you. You are operating with clarity. And that clarity is power. When something goes wrong, you don't panic. You assess. You adapt. You move forward. When someone tries to provoke you, you don't react emotionally. You recognize that their behavior is outside your control, and you refuse to let it affect you. That is how you become unshakable. Not by controlling the world, but by controlling yourself within it. And once you master this first lesson, everything else becomes easier. Because you are no longer distracted by noise. You are focused. Grounded. In control. Now let's go even deeper. Accept reality as it is. Most suffering does not come from reality itself, it comes from resisting it. People suffer because they want things to be different. They argue with what has already happened. They deny what is right in front of them. They hold on to expectations that reality refuses to meet. And in doing so, they create unnecessary pain. A Stoic does not do that. A Stoic sees reality clearly, and accepts it fully. This does not mean you like everything that happens. It does not mean you approve of it. It means you acknowledge it without emotional resistance. Because you cannot change what you refuse to accept. If something has already happened, it is done. Wishing it were different will not change it. Complaining about it will not fix it. The only thing that matters is what you do next. Acceptance gives you that power. When you accept reality, you stop wasting energy on denial. You stop arguing with the past. You stop being stuck. Instead, you adapt. You look at the situation as it is, not as you wish it to be, and you make decisions based on truth, not emotion. And this makes you dangerous in a different way. Because while others are stuck complaining, you are already moving forward. While others are overwhelmed by what went wrong, you are focused on what can be done. And that is the difference between weakness and strength. Weakness resists reality. Strength adapts to it. This mindset will change how you handle everything. Rejection becomes redirection. Failure becomes feedback. Challenges become training. You stop seeing life as something that happens to you, and you start seeing it as something you can navigate with control and clarity. And once you reach that level, very little can shake you. Because no matter what happens, you are ready to face it as it is, not as you wish it to be. And that is real power. Now let's go deeper into the next lesson. Master your emotions before they master you. Most people are not in control of their lives, they are in control of their reactions for a few seconds, and after that, their emotions take over. Anger speaks before they think. Fear stops them before they try. Ego pushes them into unnecessary battles. And later, they regret it. This is how weak minds operate. They are constantly reacting, constantly being pulled in different directions by how they feel in the moment. And because emotions are unstable, their lives become unstable too. But a Stoic understands something most people ignore: emotions are natural, but they are not commands. Just because you feel angry does not mean you must act on it. Just because you feel afraid does not mean you must retreat. Just because you feel hurt does not mean you must respond. There is always a space, a small moment between what happens and how you react. And in that space lies your power. A mentally strong person protects that space. They do not allow emotions to rush them into decisions. They observe what they feel without immediately acting on it. They let the emotion pass through them, without letting it control them. This is not suppression. This is mastery. Because when you are ruled by emotions, you become predictable. Easy to provoke. Easy to manipulate. People can control you simply by triggering the right feeling. But when you master your emotions, you become unpredictable in the best way. Calm under pressure. Focused in chaos. Difficult to disturb. Think about it. How many problems in your life came from reacting too quickly? Saying something you didn't mean. Acting out of anger. Making a decision based on fear instead of logic. Now imagine removing that pattern completely. Imagine being able to stay calm when someone disrespects you. Imagine thinking clearly when everyone else is panicking. Imagine responding with precision instead of reacting with emotion. That is what this lesson gives you. And it is built through practice. The next time you feel anger rising, pause. Say nothing. Observe it. The next time you feel fear, don't run immediately. Question it. The next time you feel the urge to react, delay it. Give yourself time. At first, it will feel unnatural. Your mind will want to go back to old habits. But over time, you will notice a shift. You will become slower to anger. Quicker to think. Stronger in your responses. And people will notice it. They will see that you are not easily shaken. Not easily provoked. Not easily controlled. And that is when you start gaining real respect. Because nothing is more powerful than a person who feels everything, but is ruled by nothing. Now let's go deeper. Embrace discomfort voluntarily. Most people spend their entire lives chasing comfort. They avoid difficulty. They avoid pain. They avoid anything that challenges them. And at first, it feels good. Easy. Safe. But over time, it weakens them. Because comfort makes you soft. It removes your edge. It trains your mind to expect ease, and when life inevitably becomes hard, you are not prepared. This is why so many people break under pressure. Not because they are incapable, but because they are unfamiliar with discomfort. A Stoic does the opposite. Instead of avoiding discomfort, they seek it. Not recklessly. Not for suffering's sake. But as a form of training. They understand that every challenge they face willingly prepares them for the challenges they cannot avoid. Discomfort becomes their teacher. Waking up early when you don't feel like it. Working when you would rather rest. Staying disciplined when everything in you wants to quit. These are small acts, but they build something powerful. They build resilience. Because every time you do something difficult on purpose, you prove to yourself that you are in control. Not your feelings. Not your circumstances. You. And that confidence carries over into every area of your life. When real challenges come, you don't panic. You've been here before. You've trained for this. While others are overwhelmed, you remain steady. And this is where the shift happens. You stop seeing discomfort as something to avoid, and you start seeing it as something to use. A tool. A way to sharpen your mind. Strengthen your discipline. Build your identity as someone who does what needs to be done, regardless of how it feels. Because in the end, the life you want will require effort, sacrifice, discipline. And if you are not willing to face discomfort voluntarily, life will force it on you anyway. The difference is, when you choose it, you are prepared. When you avoid it, you are not. So train yourself. Do hard things daily. Not because you have to, but because it makes you stronger. And over time, what once felt difficult will become normal. What once felt impossible will become easy. And you will realize, you are becoming someone who cannot be broken by discomfort. Now let's go deeper. Stop seeking validation from others. One of the fastest ways to lose control of your life is to place it in the hands of other people's opinions. Most people live like this without even realizing it. They choose what to do based on what others will think. They hold back because they fear judgment. They feel good only when they are praised, and feel worthless when they are criticized. This is not freedom. This is dependence. Because when your self-worth is tied to external validation, you will always be unstable. Your confidence will rise and fall based on how others see you. And that is dangerous. A Stoic understands that true confidence comes from within. Not from applause. Not from approval. Not from being liked by everyone. But from knowing who you are, and standing by it. This does not mean you ignore feedback. It means you do not depend on it for your identity. You listen. You evaluate. But you do not let it define you. Because people are inconsistent. One day they will praise you. The next day they will criticize you. If you chase validation, you will constantly be adjusting yourself to fit other people's expectations, losing your true self in the process. But when you stop seeking validation, something powerful happens. You become free. Free to act based on your values. Free to make decisions without fear of judgment. Free to live in alignment with who you truly are. And with that freedom comes confidence. A quiet confidence. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You no longer chase attention. You no longer react to every opinion thrown your way. You move with purpose. And ironically, this is what earns you real respect. Because people can sense when someone is not trying to impress them. When someone is grounded in themselves. When someone is not easily influenced. That kind of presence is rare. And it is powerful. So stop looking outside for validation. Build it within. Become someone who respects themselves, regardless of what others think. Because when you reach that level, no opinion can shake you. Now let's go even deeper. Focus on what truly matters. Most people are busy, but not effective. They fill their days with distractions, meaningless conversations, endless scrolling, and tasks that create the illusion of progress, but lead nowhere. And at the end of it all, they feel exhausted, yet unfulfilled. This is not because they lack effort. It is because they lack focus. A Stoic understands that time is one of the most valuable resources you have, and once it is gone, you cannot get it back. So they do not treat it casually. They do not waste it on things that do not contribute to their growth, their purpose, or their peace of mind. They are intentional. They ask themselves a simple question. Does this truly matter? If the answer is no, they let it go. Because every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that actually matters. Your goals, your discipline, your mental clarity. And over time, these small distractions compound into a life that feels scattered and unfocused. But when you start focusing only on what truly matters, everything changes. Your actions become aligned. Your energy becomes directed. Your results become visible. You stop trying to do everything, and you start doing the right things. This requires discipline. It means saying no more often. It means setting boundaries. It means being comfortable missing out on things that do not serve you. And that is not easy. Because the world constantly pulls at your attention. It rewards distraction. It encourages you to stay busy instead of being productive. But you must resist that. Because a focused mind is a powerful mind. When you know what matters, and you commit to it fully, you become unstoppable in a quiet, controlled way. You move with clarity. You act with purpose. You eliminate noise. And slowly, your life begins to reflect that focus. Less chaos. More direction. Less stress. More results. This is how mentally strong people operate. They do not chase everything, they choose carefully. And that choice defines their success. Now let's go deeper. Learn to be comfortable alone. Most people are afraid of being alone. Not because solitude is painful, but because it forces them to face themselves. Their thoughts. Their insecurities. Their unresolved emotions. So they avoid it. They surround themselves with noise. With people. With distractions. Anything to escape the silence. But in doing so, they lose something important. They lose the ability to know themselves. A Stoic does not run from solitude. They embrace it. Because solitude is where clarity is built. When you are alone, there is no one to impress. No one to distract you. No external noise to influence your thinking. It is just you, and your mind. And in that space, you begin to see things clearly. You understand your patterns. You recognize your weaknesses. You refine your thoughts. You become aware. And awareness is the foundation of growth. Because you cannot improve what you do not understand. This is why mentally strong people spend time alone intentionally. Not because they hate people, but because they value clarity. They use that time to think. To reflect. To reset. And as a result, they become more grounded. They are not dependent on constant interaction. They do not need attention to feel complete. They are comfortable in their own presence. And that is powerful. Because when you are comfortable alone, you stop tolerating things that disturb your peace. You stop chasing relationships out of fear of loneliness. You stop accepting disrespect just to avoid being by yourself. You start choosing quality over quantity. And your standards rise. This changes everything. You become more selective with your time. More intentional with your relationships. More protective of your energy. And people notice it. Because there is a certain strength in someone who does not need constant validation, someone who is at peace with themselves. so learn to be alone. Not isolated, but independent. Because once you master solitude, you will never feel empty again. You will feel complete, on your own. Now let's go deeper. Accept that hardship is part of life. Most people believe that life should be easy. That things should go according to plan. That effort should always lead to immediate results. That struggles are signs that something is wrong. And when reality does not match these expectations, they become frustrated, discouraged, broken. But a Stoic sees things differently. They understand that hardship is not an exception, it is part of the process. Difficulties are not obstacles to life, they are a fundamental part of it. And once you accept this, something shifts. You stop being surprised by challenges. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? Instead, you start asking a better question. What is this teaching me? Because every hardship carries a lesson. Every failure shows you what needs improvement. Every setback tests your patience and resilience. Every difficulty strengthens your ability to endure. And if you approach life with this mindset, nothing is wasted. Pain becomes growth. Struggle becomes training. Challenges become opportunities. This does not mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger. You develop the ability to endure without breaking. To adapt without losing control. To move forward even when things are difficult. And that is what makes you unshakable. Because when you expect hardship, you are not caught off guard by it. You are prepared. You understand that discomfort, struggle, and resistance are part of the journey, not signs that you should quit. And because of that, you keep going. While others give up. While others complain. While others break. You endure. And in that endurance, you build something most people never develop. Real strength. Now let's go deeper. Speak less, observe more. Most people talk too much. They speak without thinking. They react without understanding. They fill silence with unnecessary words, trying to prove something, defend something, or impress someone. And in doing so, they lose something valuable. They lose awareness. Because when you are constantly speaking, you are not observing. A Stoic understands the power of silence. They do not feel the need to respond to everything. They do not rush to give opinions. They do not engage in every argument or conversation. Instead, they observe. They watch how people behave. They listen more than they speak. They think before they respond. And this gives them an advantage. Because while others are revealing everything, they are learning everything. They see patterns others miss. They understand situations more clearly. They make better decisions because they have more information. And their words, when they choose to speak, carry more weight. Because they are not speaking out of impulse. They are speaking with intention. This also protects your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves your reaction. Sometimes, the strongest move is silence. Walking away. Saying nothing. Choosing peace over ego. This does not make you weak. It makes you disciplined. Because you are no longer controlled by the need to react. You are choosing your responses carefully. And that changes how people perceive you. You become more composed, more thoughtful, more in control. Your presence becomes stronger, not because you say more, but because you say less, with purpose. So practice silence. Observe more than you speak. Think more than you react. Because in that quiet awareness, you gain clarity. And clarity is power. Now let's go deeper into the final lesson. Remember that you will not live forever. This is the truth most people avoid, but it is the one that can transform your life the most. You are not here forever. Your time is limited. And whether you accept it or not, every day that passes is one day you will never get back. Most people live as if they have unlimited time. They procrastinate. They delay. They waste hours on things that do not matter. They put off their goals, their growth, their purpose, thinking they will get to it later. But later is not guaranteed. A Stoic keeps this truth in mind, not to become fearful, but to become focused. Because when you truly understand that your time is limited, you start living differently. You become more intentional with your days. You stop wasting energy on meaningless things. You start prioritizing what actually matters. You stop holding grudges that don't serve you. You stop chasing validation that doesn't fulfill you. You stop delaying the actions that could change your life. Because you realize, time is too valuable to waste. And this creates urgency. Not panic, but purpose. You begin to live with clarity. With direction. With intention. You focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not tomorrow, but now. Because now is all you truly have. And this mindset makes you unshakable in a different way. You are no longer afraid of small problems. You are no longer distracted by temporary emotions. You are no longer stuck in trivial concerns. Because you see the bigger picture. You understand that life is short, and you choose to live it with strength, discipline, and purpose. And that is the ultimate Stoic mindset. So take these lessons seriously. Not as ideas, but as not because you are trying to prove anything, but because your presence will speak for itself. You will become someone who does not react to everything. Someone who does not chase validation. Someone who stands firm, no matter the situation. That is what it means to be unshakable. So don't just listen to these lessons and move on. Apply them. When you feel anger, control it. When you face discomfort, embrace it. When life challenges you, stand firm. Do this consistently, and over time, you will build a mindset that cannot be easily broken. And if you've made it this far, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Because this is where you learn how to take control of your mind, your actions, and your life. Your transformation does not start tomorrow. It starts now.